Well folks, just doing the morning checks here, and just a quick run through some of the lambs here with you, how they're doing and where I think they're at and what the plan is or what the story is with them. Nice set of twins in this ewe here. She's one of my better ewes. She had a triplet this year. She had triplets this year, took one off, got them fought it on to a different ewe, but they're a nice little set of lambs in that one. All the ewe lambs, as I said before, have just one lamb on them. So little fella there, he's one of the younger ones now. Anything in red number is a single. A nice little Charlie lamb. He was one of two on that ewe lamb. One of them taken off her. And little Suffolks here in New Zealand Suffolk. I'm very happy with them lambs this year, the New Zealand Suffolk. I had no trouble lambing them whatsoever. Yeah, look, you'll have the odd one where there's a leg back or a head turned and twisted, but you're going to get that with any breed. But in terms of difficulty lambing, no. Little narrow, fine head on them, slide out, up and sucking there in a few minutes, no issue at all. People said to me before, oh, Suffolks, they're big, they're sleepy, they're hard lamb, big bone, big head, the whole lot. Didn't find that at all this year. That was a nice little ewe lamb. Now that is the lamb, actually, if you were watching videos, that is the lamb that was hung and had a big swollen head. So, doesn't seem any worse for it now anyway. There's a nice little darker colour Charlie lamb out of that ewe lamb there. These are all sets of twins. That was some of my older hoggets and ewes. Good ewe there, 36. She always has a good set of lambs. A single there out of hogget as well. So the twins going on there as well. So overall pretty happy. Like I said, I've had to introduce a bit of meal. It's the first time I've ever had to feed ewes after lambing, and that's simply down to lack of growth, lack of grass. It was going to run very tight there if I didn't introduce something just to keep milk up. The last thing I want is milk, ewes falling back on milk, because once they fall back on milk, lambs are going to suffer. They're never going to regain, they're never going to get the milk back to where it was, and the lambs are never going to come. Nice little lamb there, of a ewe lamb. Little Charlie, she had twins as well, one off her. This little fella here, out of one of my older ewes, she had triplets, but he was about 10 or 12 days premature, and he was only a little runt of a ewe, or a little ewe lamb, so she was only a little runt of a ewe. But she survived, a little fighter. The other two were born dead, unfortunately. So I didn't get a chance to adopt one onto her, so I just let her off at one, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. A nice little pair of Suffolks, one of my older ewes. This is the girl here that had mastitis about a fortnight before the lamb, so she's only rearing one, so she'll be heading out the gate as soon as that lad's weaned and she gets a bit of condition in her. Good ewe, she's had 2s and 3s every year for me. $105, another little Charlie out of a ewe lamb, a Suffolk cross ewe lamb. She had twins, so the lad's a pet in the shed on the feeder. It's probably every bit as good as the lad in the field, and I'm happy with that lad. So it'll be interesting to see the daily live weight gain difference, or how they compare to those reared in the feeder as opposed to those reared in the field. So when we get the 40-day weights, we'll be able to compare that data then, and we'll see how they're going. Lambs thrived really well last year in the shed for me, but like I said, when we get the data from the 40-day weights, the pets will be weighed as a separate bunch, so we'll be able to compare the data then and see how we go, see what the comparisons are. Hope you get there, lads. He's alright. Hope you get. Ooh, little lame fella there. They'll be coming in later on today for a dose, so we'll be running through the footbath as well. I'm having a bit of issue with scald, which is not ideal in little lambs. So like I said, they'll be running through the footbath later on today then, and we'll get them sorted, hopefully get them problems sorted. This little lamb here, the white face 18, is the first wet adoption I've done. onto this ewe here. She was scanned for one. That's her own lamb there, Suffolk Cross. This lad's a little Suffolk ram as well, but that's the lad we adopted onto her. Flying it, not bothering him. Little Charlie there over ewe lamb. Again, that one she had two, took one off, the lad's on the feeder. This is going alright. She's done a good job on him on his own. So, little Blue Domain cross ewe lamb. Scanned for two, had two, the other one's on the feeder, 88. The lad's doing alright as well, I'll be happy with him. The majority of these I am happy with. I love these blue hoggets, these Blue Domain hoggets. They're lovely, narrow boned, they're great milkers, they're good mothers. And they get a nice colour in their face during the summer as well. The face goes really dark. They lose the kind of hair around their cheekbones and that they get during the winter. They lose that during the summer. The face goes really like bright blue, dark, kind of brightish, darkish blue, I don't know. It's just a different colour blue that you wouldn't see in most animals. Set at 3. That's actually, that ewe there is the mother of the ewe over the far side that had the hung lamb. And this one had triplets. And one of them was hung as well. The first lad was hung when I went out. I don't know which of them it was now. But we took one off and he's on a different ewe out here. I won't be able to find him now, but he's here somewhere anyway. More little Suffolks. All twins. This ewe here is the daughter, the one that had the set of quads. She's on her third set of quads. Her mother is. They're her lambs there, 47. That's two little ewe lambs. So they're potential breeders as well. And as you know, if you've been following the page or the channels or whatever, all my ewe lambs are rearing just one lamb in the field, all bar one set. So the last one that lambed is this ewe lamb here. She's a green Radlander. She went out to the field with two, so I've done marked differently. They're marked with black with a blue stripe underneath them. You can probably tell there's a bit of a difference in the ewe that's rearing two and the rest of the ewes is rearing just one. Now this little fella on the left, he was small when he was born and he was 3.7 kilos, the other lad was 5.2. They're nothing special, they're nothing to write home about. They'll come at some stage, but I've been using these as a kind of a control for the experiment, just to show the difference that we'll monitor the data, we'll show the difference upon 40 days, if we can, well, we will be able to separate them by ear tags, and we'll show the difference then at weaning, and also the body condition score of the ewe or the hogget at weaning stage as well then, so we'll be able to see everything, see whether she was reared, done a good job rearing them or not, compared to those who were single reared in the field. Going by what happened with me last year, I had two ewe lambs at the very end. They were probably 7 or 8 days behind the rest of them, and I let both of them out to the field with two lambs each, their own two lambs each. The two lambs, all four lambs actually, were four last lambs I sold there at the end of February, start of March. One of the ewes didn't put on enough condition. She wasn't in good enough condition to go back with the ram again last October, so she was fattened and culled, and the other one went with the ram and scanned empty in January. So it was a kind of an accidental experiment, but it just proved to me that ewe lamb is not fit to rear. It's not fair in her expecting her to rear two lambs. You have to bear in mind that she's still growing herself. She's going to be 2 before she's matured, so she's taking a lot of that energy that she could be putting into lambs, and she's using that to continue on growing herself. So that's 128. That's the last ewe that lambed, and they're her two little lambs, little being the word. But like I said, we'll keep an eye on them, and we'll monitor their progress and see how they go. They're treated the very same as the rest. They're getting no preferential treatment. They're all getting a little bit of meal, like I said, for the last 3 or 4 days, just because grass is a bit tight. But once the rest of them get no meal, they'll stop getting meal as well. So they're not getting any favoritism of any description. So that's it. Just a quick run through of the lambs at the minute. We'll be getting them in later on for a quick coccidiosis dose, and just run them through the footbath, introduce them to that. There we go.